the rivers of water in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble, for I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of the Most High, O you nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. It says, For the Most High hath redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. So we can never get out of this oppression and this control power that we're under. It's going to take the hand of the Most High to redeem us. We can never, as a nation, even if we try to gather ourselves outside of the law, statutes, and commandments and rebel and revolt against the powers of the nations, they've got too much far advancement for us to ever even think that this is possible. The only way that we're ever going to come out of this stronghold and be redeemed from the people who are much stronger than us is being lawful, and the Most High has to come and save us from this oppression and save us from save us from our entire nation. They're going to try and kill our entire nation for real, just like they did in the book of Esther, where they had plotted to kill every Jew in his realm. They're going to plot to kill every single Israelite. That's part of what they mean by equality. When you hear a lot of equality talk today in the public and in the media, it's because being equal to them means they got to eliminate us. Because this world was never created equal, as you can go into the Old Testament and find out that the Most High, when lawful, has put His people above all nations. So for this world to ever be equal, they're going to have to try to eliminate every single last one of us, which is what they're going to try to do. But the Most High is going to come and redeem Jacob and ransom him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. The lawful are going to be saved, and He is going to allow them to kill off two-thirds of our people by way of famine, pestilence, and nuclear war. But this is what the part I want to go into is part of the one-third. When it speaks of, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the women with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. This goes hand in hand. A great company goes hand in hand with Revelation, where it speaks of a great multitude, which no man could number of all nations, because as it also mentions, have been scattered from throughout North America, the Western Hemisphere, and the four corners of the world. We're going to be speaking every language that you can imagine: Portuguese, Spanish, Cantonese, Chinese, whatever languages they're speaking in the Orient, Russian, English, French, Creole, everything that you can think of. We're going to be speaking all languages. Swahili. We have Israelites in Africa, Israelites in Europe, Israelites everywhere. We're a scattered nation of people. So I want to also go here in Jeremiah, where it speaks of them with the blind and the lame, the women. Now the blind and the lame, I believe, are going to be some of the men who have been saved by the women. Because as you can read in Amos, that all the sinners of the Most High shall die by the sword. Now a woman can save her house and her household for the children's sake. There's going to be many children in the kingdom. Just as is written in the New Testament, where the Son of the Most High says, Suffer little children, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. That's not just a parable pertaining to the humility of the children of Israel who will return to the covenant, but is also speaking literally. There's going to be literally many children in the kingdom that make it. More than women and more than the men. But there's going to be a lot of women as well, as you can go into Isaiah 4. Isaiah 4 speaks of the amount of women. Is going to be a godly number of women compared to men. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's what heaven is very few men left. Now the blind and the lame may possibly be a few that the women have saved. The household that the women have saved, putting on these laws, statutes, and commandments, because there is a judgment. No matter who you are, if you have rejected the covenant, no matter, even if your woman has saved the household, there is a judgment. The Most High is about judgment. They definitely will, they'll be happy to be just blind and lame, but to make it into the kingdom. But there definitely is a judgment, which is why the blind and the lame will definitely, I believe, will be some of these men that make it. But very few men left. You can go into, I believe, Isaiah 24, and you'll find also Isaiah 9, I believe, where it speaks of a man being more precious than fine gold. There's going to be very few men left in this kingdom. And I want to go here also and show and prove that it is a chosen elect genealogy. Right here in 1 Peter 2:9, it says, But ye are a chosen generation. Generation not meaning all the people alive in that generation, but meaning genealogy. You are a chosen genealogy, a royal priesthood. that goes into being made kings and priests in the kingdom. We are a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into this marvelous light. If he's given you mercy, if he's been merciful upon you and given you the knowledge that you are from the 12 tribes of Israel, you definitely should take full advantage in giving yourself over into the book and humble yourself to the knowledge of the Most High's perfect righteousness, because he has called you out of darkness into this marvelous light, and many people are not going to make it. Very few people are going to have that ear to hear. Also go here in Revelation 22, and there shall, in verse 3, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Most High power giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. It's the same thing as it said in Daniel, is that their dominion and the kingdom is forever. The Most High set this world up here. When I say world, I'm speaking of from the time of Noah till the time of the end, has completely set up this world, because the time before Noah was recognized as the old world. That's the old world. The Most High destroyed the old world, brought Noah, made a covenant with Noah, and all nations of people today come from the descendants of Noah, Noah's 3 sons. He set up this entire world to revolve around the world of forever, in which the rulership pertains to the 12 tribes of Israel forever. Now, this rulership is going to be a much better rulership, which I'll go into here pretty soon, because I've actually broken down the kingdom to one of my crazy Christian cousins, who is an idolatrous Mexican, and he completely rejected it. I told him that it's a rulership. I didn't give him the extent that I just gave today, but he completely rejected it. Said he foolishly said he didn't want that. He don't want rulership. And we're going to go into this, which goes perfectly with 2 Timothy 4:3. It says, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables." So they want fables. They want this stuff. They want to die and go see their loved ones when they die. Live like a demon here on planet Earth. Have faith in a fake Christ, and go into a fairy tale heaven. That's what they want, because they can do after their own lust. And Christians create weak men. A weak man who doesn't want anything to do with any type of rulership over the planet. That takes a weak man to not want any type of rulership over the entire world under the Son of the Most High, in the Most High's kingdom, being granted a kingly priesthood. They don't want that. They just want to die and go to heaven and see their loved ones. That's the turn away their ear from the truth, and shall be turned to fables in its perfection. That's exactly what that is. And this is so unbelievably true that, like I said, this book is perfect in every way, shape, or form. Here in 2nd Esdras, this is chapter 6. I'm going to start here in verse number, we'll start here in, right here in verse number 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? And when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other questions Esdras asked thou not." So definitely you want to have a true understanding of Esau, because if you don't understand who Esau is, you don't understand the very many precepts that pertain to Esau and the Edomites. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's basically where we're at. We're almost right here at the heel. This has been a prophecy that all of these things have come to pass. The 10 horns, the little horn that came up, all of these things have become history and now present with this little horn. We are at the heel, right here in between the hand of man, where soon the hand is about to manifest. The Most High Son is about to come and destroy this entire image off of its feet and the toes, which were under the little horn, and that rulership is soon about to be the beginning of it. Jacob's beginning is soon at hand. So definitely, brothers, you want to go into the real understanding of exactly Esau is, because if without this knowledge of Esau, some of the basics, You definitely have to understand some of the milk in order to be able to understand some of the meat of the book. So you definitely don't want to have this understanding wrong, because you won't understand, which I'll go into later. Some of the basics is I'm going into really the basics of the kingdom right now and the real truth about what the kingdom is. This also shows improved in Ezekiel 5, verse 12, that a third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with the famine, and shall they be consumed in the midst of thee, and a third part shall fall by the sword round about thee, and I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw the sword after them. This is Ezekiel 5 and 12. That goes into the 144,000 and the 2/3 that are soon to die. And the prophets shall improve this. They shall improve exactly. They already tell us what's going to happen before it happens. The time of Jacob's troubles at hand. And as I said, even some of the Edomites, some of the white people, Chinese, many of the common people know that the rulership to come is going to be much better than the rulership that we're under now. We're being ruled over by pedophiles, people that are sacrificing children. They're putting madness in the air. They're putting chemicals in our air, poisoning our food. They even put poisons in our clothing. Food isn't food anymore. They're putting dung in our food, piss in our drinks. They completely just ruling over us in the most wickedest of manner possible. They plotting on killing on many of the people, as many as they can for population control. These people are completely wicked. They eat children. They do some of the most unbelievably unspoken atrocities that you can ever think of. The world of the next is going to be a much better place for all people who remain, the remnant of the people that are left. Food's going to be food again. There's not going to be chemicals in the air. It's going to be an entirely different rulership. It's going to be an entirely different nature of world. The world in its entire nature is about to change. Just like it changed during the time of the flood, it is about to make that change again. We are in the last days, the extreme last days. I'm talking about the last of the last. We won't have these Jesuits wickedly ruling over the people secretly through different societies and keeping the poor poorer and making sure the rich make its way all the way up, the riches make its way all the way up to the rich of the people. It's going to be a rulership in which is much better than what we have today, being ruled over by these wicked people. These are some wicked people rolling over this world. The Most High has given this earth into the hand of the wicked. They've been deceived to believe that they can actually change the prophets, that they can actually change that prophecy. As I'll go into later, they've been deceived through the book. The book has actually deceived them to believe that they have rulership, that their rulership doesn't end. And as you can see through even some of their architecture, through our money has Roman numerals on it, Latin on the money. Our government buildings are based off of Roman architecture. You can see even in Mount Seir, which is Edom, Esau, Greece, the Greco is called Greco-Roman architecture because it's basically one and the same almost. But Rome has definitely got his hand throughout all of the 10 of the toes. It has definitely, and in America, that little horn is definitely a portion of Rome. I found a page also who definitely goes into the fact that Rome is ruling over many different things and many nations. It goes here, this guy right here, his page, his channel, I've been watching a lot of, shows and proves exactly what the Bible says, that Rome is part of that iron ruling over our people. He goes deep into some of the Roman oppressions and the Roman control over this world in his videos. He goes deep into some different Jesuit things. The Jesuits are ruling over us, which is of the Vatican in Rome. It definitely has a lot to do with the beast and that's soon to fall. But for certain brothers and sisters, I want to encourage our people to continue in learning and knowledge, understand exactly what times we are in. We're in the time of the end of the end. All of these things that have been, where the prophets have spoke of has been history. Prophecy has now become our history. History that we can now understand exactly what was being spoken of, that even the prophets didn't necessarily knew. Our forefathers didn't understand completely what the kingdom and the 10 rulerships were. So we're in a time now where all knowledge is coming out. All of these things are being made known to the people. The Bible is completely perfect in its manifestation and how it's actually played out. These words in the book are spiritual words. They're real live things that have taken place. No one man could ever convince me that the Bible When you understand the Bible, you can never convince me that this is words written by man or any group of men. But these are words given to prophets through the Spirit by the Most High, for certain. When you understand it on the level that I've come to the understanding of, it is clear that these words come from a higher power. We're here at this time, brothers and sisters, Israelite people, and even strangers who sojourn the truth, who want to know and understand exactly what's going on. The world revolves around this. They're ruling over the world with oppression and much power because they don't want this stone to come and destroy their kingdoms. So with that, brothers and sisters, I always want to encourage our people to increase learning, increase their understanding of the truth, and do that which is necessary, which is to study, to show thyself approved. Go into the scriptures and understand exactly what's going on. I was going to bring out a few of the empires in their realm of rulership. As you can see in Babylon, they had empires. Some of the dates have been a little different in various areas which I've seen, but it's all the same. It's all history. The Babylon Empire ruled over Mesopotamia and certain areas of the Middle East, but ruled over all nations. All nations gave homage to the Babylonian Empire and the Chaldees. The Persian Empire also was a very strong and big empire. If you watch 300, you'll see they made their way all the way over to Greece. Couldn't get past that Greek part, the Grecian territory. Definitely going all the way over here into the eastern part. It was very strong. And the Greeks, they came back towards the east. They went from over here. They had their empire, and Alexander the Greek made his way all over here to the jungles over here in India, putting down nations and making sure his rulership was made known throughout over here in the Mesopotamian, Persian and Mede Empire became the Greek Empire. After his passing, he had no heir. He had no one to sit on the throne after him, no child, no man-child to be his heir. His kingdom was broken down into 4 pieces, which 4 different sections, which is also mentioned in Daniel. And this is all history. This is all, you can research all this history. Then the Roman Empire throughout Europe, throughout majority of this Mesopotamia, even into Africa, the northern part of Africa, they ruled over the world. They stomped down this world, and the Roman Empire was very much afraid of. Then you have America and their horns and the way they rule over the world with much oppression, which is soon to come to an end. But our people are going to be gathered throughout the 4 corners of the world. So brothers and sisters, I want to encourage our people to continue in the faith and continue in knowledge and give all the praises to the Most High.